Welcome to Fox 54 News at 6. I'm Caleb Aguayo. We start today's show with some weather. It was a beautiful day today. Just take a look at some of this. Not a cloud in the sky. Beautiful crystal blue skies right there, but it was also a cooler day with temperatures falling ahead of New Year's. Let's bring in Fox 54 Weather Impact Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. Jordan, will the temperature stay this cool as we enter the new year?
Yeah, as we head into New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, we are going to begin to see a little bit of improvement across the Tennessee Valley. But first, we got to get through the next 16 to 24 hours or so, where we're going to maintain the incredibly cold air across the area. We are significantly colder right now than we were just this time 24 hours ago. Most of us are currently sitting in the lower 30s, 33 in Huntsville, 34 Arab in Albertville, 34 is a very popular number. We have fallen below freezing in Pulaski, sitting at 31 degrees. We're also sitting at 31 degrees over in Northwest Alabama. Our friends over in Florence, that's what they're talking about. And then Fort Payne, good evening. You currently find yourselves also sitting at 34, like many others across the area. We're going to maintain the clear sky through the rest of the evening, and that's going to help our temperatures to continue to slide off. I've got 29 at 7, 28 by 8, 27 by 9, 26 degrees by the time we get to 10 p.m. But to some extent, we're going to maintain the breezy conditions as we head into the overnight and then as we head into the Tuesday morning commute. That could even stick with us as we head into Tuesday afternoon, and that's going to have an impact on how cold it feels across the area, at least on Tuesday. We'll talk about it in a few minutes.
A Huntsville man is being charged with killing his own father after a domestic dispute earlier this month. HPD says they first responded to the 2800 block of Broadview Drive on December 6th after a domestic dispute turned violent. When police arrived, they found 80-year-old William Fales suffering from a gunshot wound. Fales was taken to the hospital where he later died from his injuries. William Fales Jr. was originally charged with assault but had his charge upgraded to murder. Fales Jr. is in Madison County Jail on a $60,000 bond. The Huntsville Police Department confiscated 2 illegal gambling machines at a gas station today. HPD says the investigation began at 6:30 this morning when an officer spotted the machines inside this gas station. Officers took the machines as part of the investigation. HPD says no arrests have been made at this time. The city of Huntsville annexed over 3,000 acres this year in Madison, Limestone, Morgan, and Marshall counties. It's the biggest growth spurt in nearly 20 years as the city eyes new businesses, jobs, and people. And that growth is affecting not just Huntsville, but also the surrounding area. You can see here that Madison is surrounded, forcing the city to grow up instead of out. And Limestone County is already planning for expansion as Huntsville reaches farther west. I went out to see what they're doing to meet the growing demand for land. 500 acres of land annexed by the city of Huntsville in 2025 came from Limestone County, equivalent to nearly the size of New York City's Central Park. For county officials, that's going to mean unprecedented growth.
In the last 10 years, we've put 15,000 new jobs out at the Greenbrier area. So naturally, with those jobs, you've created this great new tax base, both for the county and the city and everybody's school system. So now you have this new revenue stream that you've created to help fund building communities.
As the population grows and as everything else grows, everything we have to do grows too. Because a lot of the people will live in the unincorporated portions of the county, out into the rural areas, and they'll build subdivisions, and that'll be our services will have to grow on that side.
Daly says county employment tends to grow alongside the population. As for the workload, the city annexations actually take the burden of road maintenance away from county officials. But local fire departments could see their workloads increase, according to East Limestone Volunteer Fire Chief John Roberts. He says with the nearby growth from this year alone, some more help from nearby cities is often appreciated.
Our call volume over the last 8 to 10 years has tripled. So we went from getting calls of service for about 500 times a year to this year we're going to end right around 1,600 calls for service.
The city of Huntsville just built a fire station on Burr Green Road in Madison, and Roberts says they've already seen what working together will look like.
We've seen the benefits of having the mutual aid partners within the county to call on in times when we're short-staffed or in times of the day where we don't have a lot of people around. So it's been a positive currently.
For volunteer fire departments, the annexations could mean some help and new challenges. The biggest challenge now is finding the resources to meet the climbing demand. Limestone County officials say you can expect economic growth for businesses, cities, residents, and land values in the area. It could also mean new employment with the coming additions of Eli Lilly, Space Command, and several other major developments. The company working on Huntsville's northern bypass says they're making progress on the second phase of construction. Wiregrass Construction Company completed phase 1 back in August, which you see on your screen. The company told FOX54 they're now focused on grading, drainage, and paving operations. The city of Huntsville says they hope the second phase will be completed by the end of next year. The $35 million northern bypass is part of the city's future Loop Road, which will improve and connect the city's roads. As we enter the peak of flu season, the city of Hueytown is mourning the death of an 11-year-old who died from complications from influenza. Jace Watkins died Saturday after fighting against the virus when swelling in his brain blocked oxygen from reaching it. On your screen is footage from a rally to support Jace Watkins as he fought the virus. The death comes as numbers show a drastic rise in ER visits due to the flu. According to the Alabama Department of Public Health, the number of emergency department visits across the state has grown since last month. We're 0.35% of emergency department visits related to influenza. However, that number has since risen to 6.26% of emergency department visits. To make sure you stay out of the hospital, Dr. Wes Stubblefield with the Alabama Department of Public Health says it's important to practice good health habits.
If you are one of those individuals at very high risk, say if you have multiple of those factors, then you might want to consider distancing yourself from others during times of very high flu activity. Also to understand that that some people may not have severe symptoms, but can still have the flu and can still spread it to others. So we recommend staying home when you're sick, using good respiratory hygiene, like coughing into your elbow and keeping your hands clean.
And if you haven't gotten your flu vaccine, Dr. Stubblefield says getting it could help you if a second strain appears.
The flu vaccine you can still get it. Remember, the flu vaccine contains 3 separate strains, and strains do co-circulate. Sometimes we even have different peaks in the same flu season of 2 different strains. So even if you've already had the flu, it doesn't mean that you won't get a different type of flu in this same flu season, this 25-26 flu season. So if you desire to get the flu shot, you can still get it. It's widely available.
We have our reporter Carson Keel here with us. And Carson, I guess in all of your research today, did you kind of come across anything about, aside from obviously the the obvious cough into your elbow, wash your hands frequently, were there any other, I guess, kind of hygienic habits that stuck out to you particularly?
Well, it's not going to be hygienic exactly, but it's more about when you do have the flu. It's something that I didn't have in the interview itself, but something that I came across constantly was stay hydrated. I was also speaking with another medical professional. They said a lot of hospitalizations involve dehydration mostly because people are not getting enough fluid while they're sick. I noticed it's always important to stay important when you're hydrated when you do have the flu virus.
I see. So did you happen to come across anything about like, if you stay hydrated versus if you don't, how your recovery might differ?
I didn't notice anything like that, but I did notice basically I was told like, look, this isn't something where we're seeing dehydration as a major factor when people go to the hospital. So that I was told, hey, make sure you're drinking water, make sure you're getting your electrolytes, make sure basically you're staying on top and you're kind of aware of your body during this time when you're sick.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Carson.
The jobs are there. It's more competitive to find the opportunities you're looking for.
Many career experts are saying January is the best time to look for a job. Find out how you can stand out coming up. And it's your chance to open the new year with an outdoor adventure. We'll tell you how after the break. We're getting even closer to the new year, which could mean new beginnings, including looking for a new job. Whether you're looking to switch careers or land a new role, the process can be overwhelming. Jen Sullivan sits down with one career expert to talk about ways you can stand out to recruiters.
Bringing in a new year means self-reflection and setting new goals. For some, that may mean looking for a new job. And many career experts say January is a good time for job seekers.
In the new year, you often see hiring opportunities increase out in the marketplace.
Dawn Fay with recruiting firm Robert Half says a new year means a new annual budget for most companies, so they have more financial flexibility to add positions. But this is a tough climate for job seekers. The latest jobs report shows 105,000 jobs were lost in October and 64,000 jobs were added in November, while the unemployment rate rose to 4.6%, a 4-year high.
The jobs are there. It's more competitive to find the opportunities you're looking for.
Fay recommends broadening your job search. If you work in marketing, don't just apply to other marketing firms. Look for a marketing job in other industries.
Certainly things are picking up in the energy sector because there's all talk about power and how are we going to power all these data centers to keep the AI work running.
Fay says tailor your resume and cover letter to each job you apply for. She says AI can be a useful tool to help you save time. Use the job description to help you come up with a rough draft.
You might, again, just want to tweak it to highlight your skills and the results that you've had from the work that you've done that could be really particular to that role that you are applying to.
Don't just apply through the company's website. Try and track down the hiring manager and email them directly as well. If you're currently unemployed, consider contract or temporary work. Take a class to develop new skills or even volunteer. Fay says that helps you explain any resume gaps. For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
Robert Half recently launched a job search strategy guide for 2026 with tips on industries that are hiring and the ballpark salaries for various jobs, which you can find on their website, robertshalf.com. Coming up, a local organization is opening their doors for those in need of shelter. We'll take you to Decatur.
You're going to want to stay warm as we head into the overnight. Early into your Tuesday morning, we're talking about wind chills in the mid-teens. We'll discuss when we see some improvement here in just a couple of minutes.
If you're looking for something to do on New Year's Day, you might want to check out First Day Hikes. State parks around North Alabama are offering first day guided hikes to ring in the new year. From Montesano to Lake Gunnersville, the guided hikes will take place over the course of New Year's Day. And according to State Parks Deputy Director Chad Davis, hike guides will also explain the importance of our local ecosystem.
It's a great way to literally start off the year on the right foot, you know. being outside, being in nature. The park naturalists usually guide these hikes, and they'll be talking about the natural ecosystem of the state parks. For example, if you're at Joe Wheeler, they'll talk about the river and how important it is for Joe Wheeler and this area.
Reservations are required for the guided hikes, and some may also require a $5 fee to register. For a full list of parks and hikes, you can visit FOX54.com. If you plan on sending back a holiday gift by mail, listen up. Some large retailers are moving on from fee-free returns. Macy's is charging a shipping fee of about $10 if you're not a Star Rewards member. TJ Maxx and Marshalls will charge about $12. Meanwhile, JCPenney, American Eagles Outfitters, and J.Crew will have return fees of about $4 to $8. Some retailers will deduct the charge from your store credit on the return item. You can also avoid the fees by making returns in person. Stricter policies began after the pandemic, when retailers saw large amounts of returns from online shopping. New Year's is in just a few days, and you may be thinking about buying some fireworks, but improper handling can cause serious injuries, so it's important to prioritize safety. Remember to keep fireworks away from children. Don't use fireworks if you've been drinking, and always light them away from anything flammable. You should also keep a bucket of water close just in case you need to put out any flames. Don't toss your tree just yet. Huntsville and Madison residents can recycle live Christmas trees, cardboard, batteries, and electronics like you're seeing on your screen at the Operation Christmas Cleanup on January 10th from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Two locations make it easy: John Hunt Park in Huntsville and Madison City School Stadium in Madison. Organizers ask that cardboard boxes be flattened and remind residents not to bring artificial trees, lights, ornaments, styrofoam, or wrapping materials. If it rains, the cleanup will move to Saturday, January 17th.
Now, the Tennessee Valley's certified most accurate forecast from the Fox 54 Weather Impact Team.
We saw just a few clouds here in the Tennessee Valley today, but for the most part, clear skies above with some cool weather to complement it.
It was a beautiful looking afternoon. That's about the only way I can think of to describe it.
Not beautiful feeling.
No, not in the very least. I was very displeased. Now, were you able to turn the heat off in your home over the last few days?
I was actually during kind of the Christmas time, especially when we had the oven on. We were cooking with the oven. We would open it up, heats up the house real well. We didn't even need that to be on, you know. It was like 72, I think, all the way across the board.
It was indeed. Now, did you cave and turn the AC on, or are you open the windows type of people?
We open the windows for sure.
See, that's what I'm thinking, and that's what we were really excited about in my house, is the fact that I could open the windows in late December and let in the fresh air.
Yeah, that's sure a perk, isn't it?
It is, but now we've all had to turn the heat back on because all good things must come to an end, and this good thing has definitely come to an end. But wasn't the week of Christmas just simply fantastic? We were 74 degrees on Christmas Eve. We saw 71 degrees on Christmas Day, and then we continued that beautiful weather into the weekend. Friday we had 69, 67 on Saturday. 71 degrees was the high temperature yesterday. Look at the beginning of December. Yeah, it was cold across the Tennessee Valley the first week and a half of December, and then we managed to warm things up just in time for Christmas. And then if you look at the official almanac for today, you are going to see that the official high temperature at the Huntsville International Airport was 65 degrees, 54 over in the Shoals. We saw 65 today in Albertville, 65 in Fayetteville. These numbers occurred just after midnight, right around 12:06 a.m. But why the large spread between Huntsville and our friends over in the Shoals? Because the cold front had already moved through northwest Alabama. It had not yet gotten to Huntsville International Airport. So that's why the temperature disparity there, even though the temperatures came from the exact same time. And I think it was like 12:05 or 12:06 this morning. So the 54 in Florence is on the backside of the cold front when temperatures had already begun to fall off. But then we saw 65 today in Huntsville. So 65 to 54. Quite the change up there over the course of about an hour drive. Temperatures currently sitting in the 30s across the area, 32 in Fayetteville, 33 in Coleman, 33 right now in Huntsville, 29 at 7 o'clock this evening, 28 at 8, 27 by 9, 26 degrees by the time we get to 10 p.m. Now, we are going to maintain the clear sky, but that's only going to help temperatures fall off more, as if we aren't cold enough already. Temperatures a good 30 to 35 degrees right now, cooler right now than we were this time 24 hours ago. In some cases, like our friends up across southern Middle Tennessee and far northwest Alabama, we are close to 40 degrees cooler right now than we were this time 24 hours ago. Do that little bit of math, and you'll discover that we were in the upper 60s and even lower 70s at this point yesterday. Still dealing with a bit of a breeze across the Tennessee Valley. Sustained winds 5 to 10, at times picking up a little bit out of the north, 10 to 15 miles per hour. Temperatures fall off into the overnight as we venture late tonight, early tomorrow morning. We're going to drop off into the low and mid 20s across the Tennessee Valley. A couple of folks could drop off into the upper teens, but in general, we're talking about the low and mid 20s. The problem here is that we're going to maintain the breezy conditions to some extent. So wind chills by the time we get to the Tuesday morning commute, going to be somewhere in the upper single digits. Most of us are going to be talking about wind chills in the low and mid-teens. So you're going to want to bundle up tomorrow morning and then stay bundled up even as we head into the afternoon. Air temperatures are only going to climb into the upper 30s. Wind chill going to be in the lower 30s. Now the wind does die off as we head into the evening, so it's not really going to be a problem by that point. Now let's talk about your New Year holiday. 50 degrees on New Year's Eve, 54 on New Year's Day. Plenty of sunshine both days, so we are going to get a little bit of improvement. Then we can take New Year's Eve and kind of break it down as we head into the evening. Most of the festivities occur in the evening. 44 at 6 p.m., 34 by 12 a.m., 33 at 3 a.m. Temperature's actually not going to be all that bad. Of course, if you are going out this New Year's Eve, one of many parties across the Tennessee Valley, do so safely. So 38, 50, 54, that gets you through Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Next chance of rain, and it's kind of a guarantee at this point, comes into the Tennessee Valley on Friday, 57 degrees. We hold on to the 50s Saturday, Sunday. Sunday and Monday really going to be beautiful, 56 and then 60 with plenty of sunshine.
Thanks, Jordan. One local organization is making sure no one has to sleep in the cold tonight. Hands Across Decatur is opening a warming center, offering a safe place to rest, a hot meal, and relief from the outdoors. With no official weather advisory in place, Hands Across Decatur says many shelters are not open, and most people don't realize how quickly sleeping out in the cold can become dangerous.
The best analogy to use in that situation is, if you go camping with the family, you go tent camping, and imagine doing that day in and day out. It doesn't get to be fun anymore. And, I've been in that situation, and when it gets that cold, the best thing you can do is, go somewhere.
The Warming Center is located at 1027 Fifth Avenue in Decatur. All you have to do to use the Warming Center is show up and sign in at the front desk. It will remain open until 8 Tuesday morning. Calling all blood donors in Ardmore. The Red Cross needs your help to give blood to those in need. The Red Cross says with more people traveling during the holidays, blood donations can dip at a crucial time when patients count on care. If you want to help, you can donate at the Ardmore Public Library tomorrow from 1 to 5 p.m. As a special thank you, donors will receive an exclusive Red Cross long sleeve t-shirt while supplies last. Decatur's annual Polar Bear Plunge is returning this week. Just take a look. Community Action Partnership of North Alabama hosts the free event every year as so-called polar bears dive in to raise money for Meals on Wheels and more of Morgan County. The plunge is being held at Ingalls Harbor. If you don't want to take the plunge, you can support Meals on Wheels by buying a commemorative t-shirt or sweatshirt.
Caleb, you should try that one year, my friend. All right, let's talk some more sports now. Auburn's top playmaker on offense, guess what? He's heading to the NCAA transfer portal. I've got the latest on Cam Coleman coming up next.
Fox 54 Sports is sponsored by Alpha Insurance.
Hey everyone, prior to the Christmas holidays, the Auburn Tigers seeing a number of offensive and defensive starters enter the NCAA transfer portal. Well, today that trend continued with perhaps Auburn's biggest star. This morning on 3 Sports, and Pete Thamel reported that star wide receiver Cam Coleman has entered his name into the portal. Coleman, coming to the Plains as a 5-star wide receiver, was Auburn's highest rated recruit in the 247 sports recruiting era. Now in 2 seasons on the Plain, he had over 1,300 receiving yards and 13 touchdowns. Zach Blackerby from Locked On Auburn feels that new Auburn head football coach Alex Golesh didn't put a large priority on the current roster, and it's one of the reasons why Coleman is leaving.
I did anticipate and guess that we would get a Cam Coleman announcement before Friday. I did, however, think the announcement would be that he's staying. And so that's certainly unfortunate. With Golesh talking about the roster retention and the current guys on the roster being the priority, it doesn't feel that way. And I feel like we think about this differently if he just doesn't say it at all.
Sticking with college football, that's what level Marcus Freeman will continue his coaching career on. The head coach of the Notre Dame Fighting Irish receiving a contract extension from the school this afternoon, despite receiving interest from multiple NFL teams. Now Freeman, he's 43-12 in 4 seasons at Notre Dame, and he led the Irish to a spot in the CFP national title game just last season. All right, coming up tonight in sports at 9 p.m. on Fox 54, we'll have highlights from the championship round of the Huntsville City Classic as Huntsville takes on Oxford. Highlights and post-game sound will be seen tonight at 9. Caleb.
Coming up on Fox 54 News at 9, a former Lauderdale County judge sentenced to prison is now looking for new legal counsel. We'll tell you why. Several gambling companies are expanding their operations into Alabama, despite a state ban. But is some gambling legal in Alabama? And why do some people want to keep it illegal? We'll break it down. And a new partnership between a Major League Pickleball team and the Pickler Huntsville to bring a championship-winning culture to Alabama. That's coming up tonight at 9. Daring swimmers dove into icy water in Prague's Vltava River. It is the 89th edition of a winter swimming competition where around 250 swimmers braved frigid temperatures of 24 Fahrenheit in the air and 38 Fahrenheit in the water. The swimmers participated in 3 races, 750 meters, followed by 300 meters, and a final race of 100 meters. Besides the Czech swimmers, competitors came from Poland, Slovakia, Hungary, and